Hey guys, Udarai
Recording?
here with, yeah, we're recording. We're here with Friday Night Skype. So it's time to introduce the people. First we have the Johnny Cage.
Pleasure to be here.
And now joining us, because like he's just kind of here now permanently. He was a guest, but now he's replacing B-Dude because B-Dude's not here right now. Generation 71.
What's good, everybody?
And we always have our good friend Alta Guide here.
Yay!
And down in the corner we have our good old friend from the south, Dilly DV.
Good to be here, y'all.
And last but not least is, again, Ray.
My favorite.
I'm not here.
And our guest for today is AntlionAlpha. Hello, AntlionAlpha. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing pretty good.
Didn't know we started the clapping. This is cool.
Someone started, we gotta keep going.
It's just like the slow clap where somebody starts and then you just keep going.
We're so grateful for random people joining us.
Much
For him to
appreciated.
grace us with his presence.
Who started that? Was that you, Alta?
Yeah, that was
Nicely done.
Well played.
Good show.
So, speaking on that, Antlion, you should tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I believe I'm the youngest one here at 17. I'll be 18 in November. I've been Let's Playing since December of 2010. And my very first LP was Donkey Kong 64.
That's an awesome game. Dwell more into that, man. How was it playing Donkey Kong 64?
There's things I would have liked to change, like I've even considered re-uploading the first two segments because they're just incredibly quiet. I had to put annotations next to them, but like I've talked to my friends. I've met a couple other Let's Players through that because one of my closest internet friends actually found me by searching for a Donkey Kong 64 Let's Play, and he said that's the most entertaining one by far he's found, and he said that that's probably my best LP he's seen, even though like the recording quality itself probably wasn't as good because I was using Cam Studio and the frame rate kind of wasn't that great, but the commentary he really liked.
Yep, that's what makes an LP, having good commentary.
So what was did you ever play any of the like old school Donkey Kong Country games for like the Super Nintendo at all? Or was that your first venture into it?
Yeah, I got Donkey Kong Country Returns, but I've only played the first two worlds. There's like so many Wii games I got this Christmas, and I still need to play all of them. I've been busy on YouTube.
I thought that the new one, Returns, was a really good throwback to the old school Donkey Kong Country games. I'm really glad that they did that. And just like same with Super Mario Bros. Wii. And stuff.
Yeah, and I heard it's like really challenging, and I love challenging games.
Yeah, I love challenging games. It's all I seem to playing NES games, nothing but challenges.
Yeah, Mr. Mega Man champion over here.
Mr. Mega Man, that's all I'm saying.
You know, I still have not played Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Neither have I.
You know, now that I think about it, I don't think I've actually played a Donkey Kong Country besides, it was one for the Game Boy Color. It was Diddy Kong and his sister or whatever.
Yeah, that was the Donkey Kong Land series.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Land series.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. You get to be a shark sometimes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know it was that different because I remember looking through old Nintendo Powers where they had that coming out, and I thought it was literally just the like Game Boy version of Donkey Kong Country. So glad to see they're different at least.
Yeah.
So, Antlion, what made you start LPing? What got you into it?
Well, I was playing Donkey Kong 64 just on my own time, because I like replaying through my favorite games as a kid, and it came to the point where I was racing the rabbit in Fungi Forest, and apparently like 1 out of 2 cartridges, like the rabbit is incredibly like glitched, or maybe it's even a higher percentage than that, but like, so I had to like look up how to beat him. I looked up a video on it, but like the guy didn't have a cartridge like I had, so it was like so it wasn't any help, but so I had to look up like a text document like on the web, just like on a website, but then I went back because I was kind of entertained by the Let's Play part, and so I watched the whole thing, and then I like looked in the related videos after the final video, and I found my favorite, the guy who became my favorite Let's Player, picked up on a bus who was playing Gex, and that was the very first game I ever played as a kid, and
Well, that's
Gex
interesting.
2, Enter the Gecko. And then I started watching more, and I decided I felt like there was things I could bring that would be new that like haven't been said during a Let's Play that I felt like could be appreciated. So I decided to get a microphone, get a new computer that would be better for frame rate and stuff. So
Mm.
that's how it all got started.
So
yeah, that's how it usually goes down. Where
what do
you feel. Oh,
what do you
sorry, Dylan.
what
Go
do you
ahead.
use for your computer now? Then, so you got a better computer for like frame rate. Like I'm running off a Dell Studio, and it barely does what I want it to. But it does. Claudia does get me through the day, you know.
So what are you?
What I mean, like, what do you use? What computer do you have? What's your internal workings like?
The specs.
I don't know like the exact details. It's an Asus. I don't know too much about it. That might not even be like the actual computer type. It just says Asus on the monitor, so I assume so.
And that just could be the monitor. Unless, did you buy it all in package?
Yeah,
or-
it was all complete.
Then yeah, that might be. I don't think I've ever heard of Asus before, though.
Nah, neither have
Yeah.
I.
I
I
have.
hadn't heard of it before.
You
You know what I've heard it for?
Getting
It's a
the
piece.
game.
I've heard of Silicon Valley before, and I'm sure, Garrett, you know a thing or two about Silicon Valley, I hear.
Yes, I do. I'm actually playing it right now.
Ah,
Well,
that segue there? Bang.
Great segue. Yeah, good job.
My favorite game for the Nintendo 64. Just
Oh,
gonna
man.
throw it out there.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I'm not
Great
gonna lie, it's
game.
the best game.
It's very
Ah,
underrated, I think.
A
I
cult
don't know.
classic. Yeah, maybe cult classic.
It's kind of
Right
hard to
up there
say.
with
Like, it's one of those games that's like really, really good, but it didn't have any like advertisement to it at all, and it was very
Yeah.
low budget, so it was very overlooked. But it is probably the best game on the Nintendo 64.
The best game on the Nintendo 64.
It had severed heads, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it did have severed heads, for sure. Like, the game, to me, just based on Neutralized Let's Play of it, it came off completely, like, unpolished of a game. It's like they just threw that shit together and like, alright, we got a game, here we go.
Yeah, their budget was so low that pretty much is how they had to do it.
But
Well-
it's fun to play. Like, unless like, you can watch it, you'd be like, the second you start playing it, it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's really original. I mean, like not many. I just finished my own Let's Play of that game, and I was giving my final thoughts. Basically, I'll just retell that I think it's really underappreciated, but it's really like clever in a lot of aspects, like how you have to go through objectives and it's basically like getting new items throughout the levels, but the items are like new characters themselves because they have different abilities and they can do different things in some places that certain animals can go, others can't. So it's really well done in that it doesn't have a lot of sequence breaking you can do, and it really makes you play through it and explore.
Yeah, it's not like completely linear.
Yeah.
Not completely, at least. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that game, but then again, I have a problem with a lot of N64 games. I mean, it was the beginning of 3D technology in video games, so
Yeah, it was so glitchy. It was beautiful.
it's so glitchy. It's beautiful.
I still love going in the stinky sewers with my robot dog, and I will spend literally 5 minutes having the rat bite him in the butt just so I can have him go and fight the fox instead of the rat.
You mentioned Gex on the 64, and I actually played that game a lot. I remember renting that game like 3 times in a row with me and my brother and playing that. That was a really good action game, honestly.
Yeah.
To play.
Gex 3 didn't get as high of praise, but I like that game. I don't know. It's just, I really like, same with like Banjo-Kazooie being the first between Banjo-Tooie. I think like the music was much more atmospheric in that game than the next one, like Gex 2 being more so atmospheric than Gex 3.
Yeah, you don't hear a lot about the music. Well, you do and you don't. I think that the Super Nintendo, you always talk about the music in that game, and it seems like as graphics progressed, music became less and less of the center of what made up the game. But even on the N64, where you had, in some cases, mediocre 3D graphics, at least you had really good music to accompany it. I think that's why Banjo-Kazooie did really well. I don't remember hearing a lot about that game when it came out, but now it's become one of people's most popular games to Let's Play, for sure.
And
It's all about the soundtrack.
I love Banjo-Kazooie. I loved that game. I loved everything about it. It was so much fun. I don't understand who could say anything bad about that game.
I
Well,
think
yeah.
it was just for the younger kids because I remember I was fairly young when that game came out, and I honestly did not know what to do. I just remember being on, the crow side or the bird side, and he had like a banjo on his back, and I kept trying to climb up a mountain, but it wouldn't let me, and I was just stuck there the whole entire time. It made me so angry.
So where do I go? It's like freaking Echo the Dolphin. It's like, where do I go? I have no idea what I'm doing in this game.
I have a confession to make. I have never beaten Banjo-Kazooie. In fact, I've never even gotten to the final boss.
Hey,
Me
here,
neither.
here.
I haven't either.
I love it that, though. That's one of my favorite things, because I can go back and it's still challenging. But it's the kind of
still
challenging...
still new.
It's the kind that makes you want to go back, not because it's your own skill, not the game's being so cheap you never want to play it again.
Yeah.
And for anyone interested, that's my current Let's Play is Banjo-Kazooie, and I know it's been overdone, so what I did is, as soon as I could possibly do, I switched to the washing machine using like the codes in Treasure Trove Cove, and so I'm playing through the majority of the game as the washing machine.
Nice.
So you're doing like a challenge, basically.
It doesn't add that much challenge, but there's certain like things you can't do. Like its collision is slightly different than regular Banjo, so there's certain like places you can't quite get, like doing backflips to get certain things. You might not be able to reach them. But I mean, you can always switch back to. I'll do that at the end of the LP. Switch back to regular Banjo and collect the stuff I missed.
My favorite part about Banjo-Kazooie was finding all like the hidden characters throughout that game. Like I remember one level, there's like the thing's like a turtle school or whatever, where like you're talking to all those turtle kids and like I think they're singing or something. It's been such a long
Yeah, the
time.
Tip Tup Choir.
Yeah, like that was awesome. Like just discovering things like that to me was what really made the game.
The turtle was so funny. Stomp on his leg. Oh! That was the best thing as a kid.
The first time I got to know Banjo was in Diddy Kong's Racing. So,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
me too. I remember all those characters.
I used to
have
love
problems.
that game, especially there was one level where you actually were in like an airplane. It was just like,
Oh,
Just
like
and
that.
then
I have
Conker's in there.
I have a story about Diddy Kong Racing, and the only reason why I hate that game. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great game, but I mean, I remember like the release of the Nintendo 64. I was a little small child, I kept telling my mom, "Mommy, I want the Nintendo and the Mario."
Mommy, do it.
So that happened, and I told her every day I want a Nintendo. I would love to get the Nintendo and Mario for Christmas. And Christmas Day came, and I open the box with the Nintendo in it. I'm all excited, and then I see a game-sized box all wrapped up. And I'm like, oh my god, that's Mario 64. I'm finally gonna get to play it. So I open it up, fucking Diddy Kong Racing. And then I just look at my mom all disappointed, and then what does she say? She's like, "Oh, the guy at the store said it would be a better game for you." And I'm just like, how can that guy know who I am? He has no idea who I am. What
Yeah,
Mega Man do I
what
play?
game you want to play?
You know, I have a similar story with Diddy Kong Racing. It was freshman year, and I always had gym class first period of the day. Then I would go to my jerseys at second period. And I'd always notice this really odd smell every time I'd get done with gym class, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
Oh God, not this story.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you guys. No, but like speaking
Yeah, you
speaking of like challenges in games, Antlion, you've done.
That was the end of the story.
You were doing an Ocarina of Time Uber challenge and a Super Mario Uber challenge. Can you elaborate on that and tell us more about the Uber challenges and what really draws you to playing really challenging video games and what those challenges are in the Ocarina of Time and the Super Mario Uber challenge?
Yeah, sure. I'm not entirely sure what drew me to them. It's just, I don't know, I Bicked Up on a Bus does a lot of challenge runs, and so I kind of like tried some of those out that he did in Super Mario 64, and I found out about the Super Mario 64 Uber challenge from him, but his was done in post-commentary, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in live commentary.
Oh, wait,
And that's what
who
I
did
did.
you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Bicked Up on a Bus.
Okay.
You can easily find him. He has like 13,000 subs, but yeah, Super Mario 64. I'm going to be doing that after Banjo-Kazooie, but I've already finished Ocarina of Time Uber Challenge for anyone out there who wants to watch it. It's all up. And I'll go through Ocarina of Time, like the details with that first since I finished it. Basically, it's a 3-heart challenge run with like, and it's also a minimalist run. So like, you can't learn any songs besides the Minuet Forest, the Zelda's Lullaby, and what was the other song? I don't know, but and you can't get the long shot. You can't use you have to use the broken giant's knife as an adult. You can't use the Master Sword until you're fighting Ganon, and you can't get the Iron Boots or the Zora Tunic, and you do have to complete the Water Temple. There's just crazy glitches you have to do. You have to get to the Spirit Temple as a kid, and that's like one of the hardest things to do because there's one jump you have to make, and I don't know. Basically, you'll find out a lot if you watch it. It's 30 segments, and
So just real quick, you said that's what interests me the most is you said that you can get to the Spirit Temple as a kid. I mean, can you talk about that just a little bit? I'm interested to hear about that.
it's more fun to see, but I'll explain a little. You have to. There's a gate when you're a kid on the bridge, and there's like a guard there, but there's a gate that's like you're not supposed to get to. But if you take a cuckoo, like the chicken, and you walk onto a peg that's like closest to the gate, you have to stand on like the perfect pixel, and if you fall, you have to do it all over again. So you don't want to do that, and then you have to turn around, and you have to like do a little curve along this peg that's like the size of Link's foot, and then you'll get the right amount of height on your jump, and you can fly over the gate. And then you just go through the Spirit Temple, or go through the Haunted Wasteland without the Lens of Truth, because you're not allowed to have that either, and you just have to memorize the path that the Poe would take you through.
Wow.
That is very interesting.
I'm gonna go watch that. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that's part 6, by the way, is when I do that joke.
Holy hell! You do it pretty early.
That's the Uber challenge.
So I'm sorry, I derailed
no
you.
Prisoners.
You were talking about the Uber Super Mario challenge as well.
Yeah, that is basically, since there's not a bunch of like puzzles and stuff in that game, a bunch of like different tasks you have to do. It's basically just a bunch of restrictions, things you can't do, like you can't take any damage. Basically, if you break any of the rules in the challenge, you have to restart the emulator, or if you're playing on the console, that would kind of like be bad for the console. If you're doing that, you have to constantly turn it off and on. But if you just have to restart the emulator. You're not restarting the challenge, but it saves however many stars you have. You just have to start outside the castle again, and you can't take any damage from anything except high falls and like losing oxygen underwater. You can't collect any coins. You can't activate the caps. You can't talk to any characters except for Bowser and the rabbit. You can't touch any enemies at all. You can't there's quite a bit of them actually. There's stupid ones like you can't touch any penguins, which wouldn't really benefit you.
Yeah, this is like Super Mario 64, right?
Yeah, you can't get the Koopa shell. You can't. So basically, a lot of the rules just add up together. Like you can't fight bosses, so you can't not be able to collect the coins. You can't pound Chain Chomp's gate, but you can still glitch through the gate using a certain thing. It's pretty easy, that glitch actually. And you can't hit any switches, which probably makes tricky triangles like the hardest star in the game. And you have to, and because there's only 39 possible stars you can get. Getting to Bowser means you have to glitch through the star door that you normally need 70 stars to get through. And so like, if you screw up in Rainbow Ride, you have to do that every time, and it's pretty annoying.
Huh. Wow, oh, sorry, go ahead.
There's just like one more I remembered. You can't activate any moving platforms, but you can like stand on platforms that are already moving.
That sounds like a real struggle for that
Yeah,
game.
like it's because I mean, just thinking about it, because Super Mario 64 was the game I played probably the most when I was younger. Just like all the stuff that you said, that it makes you not able to get a lot of those stars, like you said, and then you have to abuse glitches and stuff. And I'm always horrible with glitches. Like, I try to glitch, I really do. I just can't do it.
Some of them are really bad, but go on.
Hey, Antlion, I was going to say, speaking of your Zelda run, sorry, I didn't have the opportunity to say earlier, but you're saying to the Shadow Temple. Funny story, I actually did not know how to get the Lens of Truth, so I did the entire Shadow Temple without it. And I don't know if you know, but that's actually kind of hard when you're blind running the game for the first time. And so I'm just like, well, okay, this platform. So I'm sure you know the platform I'm talking about after the guillotines and the Stulphos. There's that moving platform. I had to shoot that with bow and arrows after I realized it was there, and that's how I got on it. And that's not easy.
You wouldn't even be able to do that in the challenge because you have to do the Shadow Temple before the Forest Temple, and you get the bow in the Forest Temple, and getting inside the Shadow Temple is hard enough because you can't have the Nocturne of Shadow, so you have to like walk on the edge of the graveyard, like on the border, and like a couple pixels wide, and you'll fall off, and
so do you have to do all the temples backwards, basically? Then
it goes Shadow Temple, Fire Temple, Forest Temple, Water Temple, then Spirit Temple as adult.
Wow,
nice.
And you can't have any bottles. You can't have any fairies in any bottles, or you can't use the bottles for anything except for showing Princess Ruto or the King's Orb, the letter from Princess Ruto.
But like that block is there now. Like I didn't, and so it took me a while to actually figure that out. But oh man, I'm gonna watch that OP actually. Probably very soon.
And speaking of like Super Mario 64, for any of you that are watching this that don't know me, or just don't know about Super Mario 64 hacking in general, there's some big popular ones like Super Mario 74 and Super Mario Star Road.
Uto did that as an LP.
I've done both those LPs actually, and I watched Uto's entire LP of it. But anyway, I'm actually making my own hack of that, and it's instead of like making it high on like graphics like Star Road was, I'm taking more of like it's still gonna like, I'm trying to make it look nice, but it's gonna be more based on like high challenge but like fair challenge, not ones that you'll need like to abuse save states with, because I'm trying to recommend people not use save states at all, because then that'll take away from the challenge and the experience.
You want to make a challenge?
Don't have invisible walls everywhere. That's the
one
I think that bothers me.
You know what you should do as a challenge? Make a red coin mission and put one of them in a tree, and have Uto play it, and he'll never find it.
I'm actually making exactly 100 coins in every level, but some of the
that's just
you don't need to get all the stars to. I won't make you get all the stars to have to beat the game, but.
So do you have like a background in programming? Because I mean, you're talking about hacking. Is it like a hobby? Is it like a future?
I have thought of like certain like mechanics for like my own games like in the future. Like I thought of like certain things. Like one of my ideas was like making just as like a puzzle in like a game, like make like a fuse you have to like light on like a surface and have like a ball that you stand on, and it's like a candle ball, so like there's like a flame on like one point of it and you have to like roll it onto the fuse. I don't know, I just think of certain things that would sound fun and be entertaining.
Is that something you would possibly want to actually consider doing as a full-time career, programming games, anything like that, designing?
Possibly, but I don't know. It is very competitive, and I've like looked up like binary coding and things that to try and further my abilities in like ROM hacks, like hexadecimal and stuff. But a lot of it just goes way over my head. I like the programs that you use for like just regular without like hex editing, like Skelix did in Super Mario Star Road, but in Super Mario 74 there was no hex editing. That's like the kind of stuff I'm doing. It's just regular hacking. Basically all of the programs use is like, you still have to be creative, but I mean basically it's just like plug in like what you want. There's like programs that just say like select this for this, and it's not like you have to do your own coding or anything. So it's not terribly hard. It does still take a lot of patience though.
How far along are you with your hack? Are you close to completion, or did you just start? Where are you?
I started last year, but I was really lazy during that year. I've recently been like working quite a bit more on it. I've pumped out like 3 new levels in the past month, and I have 10 of the 15 main levels, and I have 1 side level, but there's 9 side levels. And 3 of them are Bowser courses, 3 of them are the cap switches, and there's 2 other ones besides the one I already finished. And I'm going to redesign the overworld too, but I'm not going to put a bunch of like design into the overworld, since I'm just going to make it pretty much like straightforward. It's still going to look nice though, but I'm just not going to make it like a bunch of like creativity, because there's not going to be like really any stars to collect in that, except like 1 or 2 in each part of the overworld. So I'm hoping to get it finished by 2013, but I'm still like in high school, so so when school starts in September, it might throw me off. I don't know.
And not to mention the world ending. So.
Yeah, rough situation.
That's gonna suck. That's gonna suck.
Hey, my hack's released. Meteor hits me.
Aw, damn it.
All that work.
John, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, no, I'm gonna play this, and you're gonna wait before you hit the Earth. And,
Want to know how the world's gonna end? The moon's gonna come down and hit us all, and we're all gonna be named Titernia.
No.
Everyone buying Ocarina right now.
Link is gonna save us.
You know what I'm gonna do?
We're gonna play the song.
You know what I've always loved to see? If I've always thought of writing a comic. This is what happens. Link, he's flat drunk, at the milk bar, right? And the guy's just like, I think you've had enough. He's like, had enough? Had enough? I'll tell you if I've had. He's like, I want another shit too, romantic. Give me a darn drink, just staggering drunk. He's like, you know what I did? I saved the world from that moon up there. And the moon's still up there because he reset time.
And then he asks the moon what Mega Man he wanted to play.
Well, Mega Man, what, huh?
Mega Man, what?
As long as the moon doesn't have the creepy face, because that scared the shit out of me as a kid. I
No,
guess.
it needs the creepy face. That's a given right
That's
there.
just
Also, would it
scary.
wouldn't be as scary.
In December, I'm going to have my Link costume ready. I'm going to walk outside, and I'm going to play the Song of Time, and I'm going to see what happens. And if the world
But instead of
doesn't
going
end,
back 3 days, it goes back to like
Three.
year 1.
1985.
Yeah, turn it back to 1990, please, so then I can do all the things I didn't
Yeah,
do.
let's go
But
back
wait.
to the 90s.
If we go back to the 90s, would we still be the same age, or would we actually go back to the ages that we were? Because if we go back to the 90s, I'm not born, so...
You'd be the same.
For the best.
You'd you'd
Oh,
age
thanks.
backwards, but you'd have the same intellect. We'll go with that.
I'd be like,
That'd be weird.
I'd be like
That
1
would
years
just be
old.
that would just be Baby Geniuses. One of the worst movies ever made.
just would not be able to unbuild yourself. You'd be the same mass. Basically, you'd be a different entity. And in the millisecond it would take your molecules to change, you could technically touch yourself with your finger without exploding or whatever people theorize, because technically your cells and molecules would have changed, your DNA would have changed ever so slightly, the fact that you actually would be a completely different entity than you were before.
So
Therefore, you can get back in time and save the conservation of mass. And then,
You can touch
What?
yourself all you want.
Yeah,
right?
so basically,
to involve.
well, all I heard from that was I can do myself whenever you turn back time.
darn it, you in the South, that's all you ever think about. Is my sister or myself? I don't know,
Yeah,
which
you
one?
go warm up the butter, Alta. We're gonna have a good night.
Who wants to play some Firehouse Rescue?
I just know if we ever invent time travel, I'm going back to the 1990 Nintendo World Championships. I'm
Hey, I got a new comment.
gonna get my.
How very engaging.
That's not random at all. And everybody dies after that.
It was
No, that's the end of
that was a
uh,
very good derailment. That was very
Good work, everyone.
Good work.
You did a great job.
There isn't much of a segue after the world ending and comments.
Hey, again, Ray's here.
Oh, wait, I did have a question.
I'm always here. You guys keep talking over me.
Sorry, Genray, I apologize. But I did have a question, though. So, like, we were talking about Banjo-Kazooie the other day. And did you guys hear that Nintendo is actually contemplating buying back Rare from Microsoft?
Oh, really?
Do it.
Yeah.
They should
I'm sick of having Rare make, let's play soccer, guys.
You know, like,
no,
throw a parade
was,
if that happens.
Yeah, they were amazing when they were back in their glory days. My gosh, but then they did like Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, and it all kind of all
They
downhill.
trolled us all.
What I think of it as Microsoft buying Rare is that episode of SpongeBob when like Plankton wins SpongeBob in a bet. He's like, "You work for me now."
And then he just does nothing, and he's just a lazy sack of shit, pretty much.
I think of Krabby on Mondays, too.
And you see, like, I see both sides of it where, it'd be cool if Nintendo did buy back Rare, because I believe it also buys back the rights to the games. But then once you think about it, all the original programmers that did, Conquer Bad Fur Day, Banjo-Kazooie, they actually left Rare a long time ago. Or Kazooie.
Kazooie,
Banjo-Kazooie?
the Donkey Kong Country games. 1994, man. Brilliant year.
Super Metroid! Dude,
that was the year I was born.
Speaking of, like, sequence breaking...
Good games came out.
I was 2 years old.
Super Metroid is, like,
the
mother of all sequence breaking.
I was 12.
You guys are
young
old,
kids here.
You old people in your diapers.
Hey, us old people, we gotta play good video games, just saying.
Hey, Earthbound came out in 1995. I would argue 1995 was the better year.
No.
That was like the only game though, other than like Chrono Trigger.
Yeah,
No,
came
but
out in 1990?
Earthbound and Chrono Trigger are both awesome.
yeah, but they weren't that awesome when they first came out, though.
That's true. It took a while for Earthbound to get really recognized
And
as
Chrono,
the
and
awesome
Chrono
game it
Trigger.
is.
And Chrono Trigger. Seriously, say what you will about Final Fantasy VII, but Westerners didn't know shit about RPGs until Final Fantasy VII came out. That's the way it was.
Johnny, he speaks the truth. None shall
say the
argue.
truth. Agreed. What Mega Man you want to play?
What Mega Man?
None shall argue.
Final Fantasy VII had to be the greatest game in the world because it had movie trailers.
Exactly.
How many Super Nintendo games or Nintendo games had like voice acting in the beginning, or like a brief tidbit of voices in it? Because what amazes me every time I start up Super Metroid for a first game is you hear that voice. It says the last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy.
Whenever I think of voice acting, I just think I think Star Fox is good luck. That's all I think from back in the day. Good luck, you're gonna need it. This game's a pain in the ass. Just saying.
You're gonna die 57 times before you make it halfway through the stage.
Are we talking about Silver Surfer now?
Ooh, good joke there.
Well, you can think about so speaking of that, you can say like Ghostbusters for the NES.
Hey, that was a great game. I don't care what anybody says.
It's a shitty game.
That's like the best game ever.
It's impossible to beat.
Final Fantasy 1 is the best one ever. Don't you even talk.
No, Ghostbusters only takes like 45 minutes to beat. It's just making your way up like the 40 freaking flights of stairs and dodging the ghosts along the way that makes it a difficult game, and everything else is very, very tedious, mind you, but it's not nearly an impossible game.
And as I was saying, the best game ever, as voted by people that actually matter, would be Donkey Kong, like the original Donkey Kong.
It's a tough game, man.
The one with 4 levels.
Yeah, well, roughly, depending on what level you're actually on.
Who are these people voting? Like the 40-year-olds?
Mostly Billy Mitchell. Just Billy Mitchell.
That entire game is in Donkey Kong 64.
Yep. So is Balloon Fighter.
It's fun, man. Dude, that is the game of all games. I still go to arcades and I'll play that all the time. I'll play that all night with friends. Just going back and forth.
Very sad. The arcade here at the mall closed down. I could not believe it. It's gone.
And you just don't see too many arcades anymore. Like, I remember back in the 90s, they were everywhere.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I've got 2 really big ones right next to me. But I'm lucky with that.
Hell, like legitimate big arcades were actually staples in movie theaters for a while. That's just not how it is anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically, arcades never survived unless they were with something. Like how Dave & Buster's and Chuck E. Cheese, where they had, because it's a restaurant
I was at the Dave & Buster's in Chicago not too long ago, and that's a pile of shit right there. That is just a poor excuse for an arcade. And it's nothing but like shoot 'em up games anyway. So So.
It's Dave and Buster's. They were like the pinnacle of arcades back in the day. Like I know the one in here near Denver is actually still pretty decent. It's not all whatchamacallit shoot 'em up games. It's actually legitimate old school.
Oh no, don't get me wrong.
games.
Yeah, they used to have one in Chicago. I remember they had an entire bridge. They had a replica of the bridge from Star Trek: The Next Generation, and they actually had control panels. And you went in there with like a group of like 5 people, and everyone controlled like a certain. They have a guy on tactics, a guy on navigation, a guy on engineering, and you actually control your station. And it was really amazing for its time. So sad that it kind of just it went the way that arcades did, which is but it had enough money to stay in business is ultimately what happened to it.
And yeah, that's how it usually goes. Yeah, I just realized though. So men actually carry dollar bills to go to strip clubs. Teenagers carry quarters to go to arcades.
We don't have dollar bills in Canada. We have like dollar coins. I actually pay every
Monopoly money. What are you talking about?
No, we have actual gold dollar coins. I actually pay with those and only those because it makes me feel like I'm in Final Fantasy. I'll go to the grocery store and be like, "What's my bill? 27 gold? Here you go, good sir."
Gold. I remember being in Japan and I forgot exactly what I bought, but I paid for it with one $5, the equivalent of $5 gold coin. Just one $5 gold coin. I was like, oh my god, this is insane. I was literally in a video game at that point.
Which it actually costs like 58 million yen. But
That's the equivalent of 58 cents. I think I got that much on me. Not at all, actually, no. When I went there, the rate was really bad. I think you only got I think it was 89 cents to the dollar. Brutal. So I really didn't get a whole lot of money for what I brought. I think I brought like $700 American. Didn't get a whole lot, but Tokyo's the place to go. I'm telling you.
Maid Cafe.
Speaking of like Tokyo, B-Dude did get on after we started, in case you guys didn't know.
What's happening in Tokyo?
How did that have to do anything with Tokyo?
Yeah, what's that to do with Tokyo?
B-Dude's from Tokyo.
40-minute B-Dude's stuff from
You guys
Tokyo.
are stupid.
B-Dude is from the wasteland of Canada. That's what he's from.
He's from the tundra.
Add him to the call.
So,
Add B-Dude.
So Alpha Line. What are...
Antlion.
Antlion.
Antlion, there you go.
Antlion.
Alpha
Alpha.
Line.
Alpha Antlion.
Lionel, tell us more.
I'm going to take liberties with your name, I suppose. So what are some of your other favorite games for, like, current generation consoles, then?
I really like the Super Mario Galaxy games.
Yeah. It's
don't
rare
know.
that you come across a bad Mario game. That's for sure.
Don't tell Mario.
Shut up. No one
Mario
mentions the CDI
Kart. Wait,
around
who
here.
said that?
There are a ton of bad Mario games.
What? They're all fucking amazing, man. This is Mario.
Where's Mario?
My Mario Brothers 3, he's got a gut so large you can't see his penis, alright? That's saying something about Mario and his well-being.
What about the game Mario's Missing that Luigi has to go around and find
dear
Mario?
God. Okay,
Hey, whoa,
you're
whoa,
saying
whoa,
there's-
whoa. Don't talk about Luigi's Mansion like that. I love that game. All you do
I
is
didn't say
clean.
Luigi's Mansion. I said Mario's Missing.
Mario's
It's a
Missing.
game.
It's different
It's a
from
really,
Luigi's
really,
Mansion.
really old game.
Oh,
Where
I thought
Mario
you-
was
oh.
yeah, Mario's Missing and Luigi, and it's this horrible graphics, everything. It was so bad. And
Well, it
that's-
was supposed to
Actually, Mario's Missing is weird. Wasn't it like a Super Nintendo game, and then they actually ported it to the NES?
It was definitely for both, I believe. Yeah, it was for both. They were probably released at the same time.
Yeah, around the same time. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Because I remember even the NES version had the Super Mario World graphic.
Well, it's just like you go there and you're like, okay, now you got to find out where Mario is, and you have to guess the date exactly. And if you get it wrong, we come to your house and kick you in the nuts. It's a real rough situation they got right
It
there.
tastes like your pasta. Freaking Italians. What the hell's wrong with them?
Seriously, that guy's gut, man, so large. He's got to work out or something.
Speaking of
Seriously, what is he
Italian,
doing his
like,
own-
if you have a glass of red wine every evening, it's good for your heart. Just like beer.
Well, you be talking about that.
Hey, I'm just making sure, I'm letting you know. Hey, I'm just letting people know. Hey,
Everyone
hey.
knows Altus from Zimbabwe, so it doesn't even matter.
When you talk about me like that,
you're fucking Russian, okay?
South Africa.
Zimbabwe
Super
Italian.
Mario, she said, man. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom.
Hey.
Hey, ¿qué pasó aquí? ¿Por qué estamos hablando así?
Oh,
Ándale.
God.
Good
Tú
lord.
es calabaza, no tenga pelotas, güey.
Yummy, yummy,
Alta,
yummy.
if I taught you one thing in my life, Alta, I'm so glad it's the East Side Mario's jingle.
Well, that was an
All right, so we had Mario's Galaxy.
interracial
That's what we were talking about. Have you played both of them? Mr. AntlionAlpha
What?
Sama-kun.
Sama-kun?
Shannon there.
Sounds like a freaking terrorist name. Jeez.
That's called Japanese, man. I'm just giving some love. Screw yourself. You've definitely played both of the Galaxy games, though, at least.
Yeah, I haven't attempted the perfect run of the Grandmaster Galaxies. I'm thinking I might do that on screen for the first time, like record it with my Dazzle, because I have recorded a few console games, not all emulators.
So- I have a question for you. Is there anything else after finding, like, I got to the point where I have to find all the green stars, and they're, like, hidden. It's, like, 3 in each world. Is there anything after that, or can I just not play it?
Yeah, it's the Grandmaster Galaxy. It's like really, really hard, actually. And the
Yeah,
perfect
isn't it?
run it's a daredevil run of the same thing, and there's like a lot of enemies, a lot of hazards, and it's supposed to be, I haven't tried it, but it's supposed to be like really, really insane.
Yeah,
Yay!
isn't like the Grandmaster level or however you named it, isn't that kind of was supposed to mimic the special stages off of Super Mario World off the SNES?
I don't know.
Star World?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what people were saying, that, it's like once you get like 100%, then you kind of give you, another world with, super hard stages and
Super?
stuff. So.
I was not aware of
Super
Super.
Super duper!
Make fun of me, Johnny God.
You're a funny guy, Mexican man.
I was gonna talk Spanish the rest of the Skype. Jeez.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo usted?
Yummy, yummy.
Así es.
Anyway.
You suddenly hit the Espanol button on your mouse for some reason.
No
My
soy es
cat's-
muy
I'm gonna
bueno.
play.
My cat Egnaro just jumped on my lap.
Ah,
Ignaro. Never heard that name for a cat.
you're
That's
more
orange
of a
backwards.
cat person versus a dog person.
Yeah, I'd say I'm more into cats.
Do you
I
know-
do like
You guys want to
dogs.
hear something
Do you
interesting?
know cats that... Bleh, bleh, bleh.
There's 50% of all people carry a parasite from cats that make you more prone to suicide.
Yeah.
What?
And they actually, whatchamacallit, there's something in their litter as well that actually make you more prone to catch more diseases.
Cats are bad news, man. You should stick to dogs.
Woo, cats.
Party up in here. That's why it's better to have a dog, because it's actually statistically proven that the saliva that the dog, licks the little kid with actually helps their immune system grow
See
stronger.
that? 1,000 puppies is good for a naked baby.
Just make them lick them
Yeah.
all over.
That possibly couldn't have come off any creepier had you tried. just. I understand what you were trying to say, but now you've weirded everybody out.
Dude,
I'm just shaking my head in the corner over here,
what's
you
wrong,
guys.
what's wrong with
What-
1,000 puppies? Nobody can deny. I saw this cartoon.
There's nothing wrong with
Look,
1,000
look, let me just-
puppies.
Let me
I
put it
don't
to you this way.
Well,
There's a
no,
cartoon. There's a
2,000.
cartoon.
How many monkeys are there? There's too many
There's this
monkeys.
dog on a chain, and he's staring at the cat who isn't on any sort of leash, and the dog says, they don't have a leash on you because they want you to run away. And that just sums it up. That's all I gotta say about cats and dogs. Don't get me wrong, I love
I
cats.
like them.
I do, but I love dogs far more than I would ever love a cat in my entire life.
Well, cats are just like so. I don't want to say antisocial, but they're just not nearly as fun as dogs are. Like when you come home, a dog just like runs up to you and they're like they want to play around. And they love the fact you're home, and it's just like you have a feeling of like yes, it's so important that I be here. Cats are just like hey, fuck off.
Yeah, and I think with cats it's more like when they're younger. When they're younger, they're actually in the adorable stage, But then when they get older, they just get annoying. And like you were saying, when you get home, the cats are like, yeah, whatever, you're here. But then after when you're actually doing something, they're like, oh, I want attention, and then like jump on your laptop or whatever. It's just like, get out of my face.
Yeah, and that's totally how I
My
feel
favorite
about it,
cats
too,
are the
but-
ones that act like dogs. That's all I got.
That's what Ignaro does. He begs and wags his tail.
That's a cat dog.
So he acts like a dog that gives you diseases like a cat. That's nice.
He likes to greet company.
That's a good cat right there. You should throw him a bone.
Yeah. I like cats because they make happy rumble
That's
sounds.
true. I can't deny the purring. My mom has a cat, and you can pick this cat up, and you can like mold her like Play-Doh. She's so trusting. It's probably because she was found after a fire. You know, she's kind of messed up in the head, but whatever. She's a cool
My-
cat.
Our cat was actually Egnara was actually a stray because he showed up in our driveway once and we eventually gave him food and he had a crooked tail, like the very end of his tail is like bent backwards, so it looks like a wrecking ball.
Really?
Yeah.
Ha!
So, anyways, guys,
Captain
segue.
first.
Have you guys ever actually played a game that, you know, the main protagonist was a cat? I don't think I can recall
yes.
one.
There was one on
Bugsy.
Xbox. There was one on Xbox where you can control time. I believe it was in the early Xbox days. I don't remember the name of the game.
I've played Cyabon Action.
What a catastrophe! What could
I
possibly
thought-
go wrong?
The Klonoa games. Technically, you're kind of a cat.
That's debatable. This one, you actually are a cat, and you control time. You can reverse it and pause it. It's kind of, and it's more kid friendly. It's like a kid friendly cat version of Prince of Persia, basically.
The important part is that we remember that we're fighting Fat Cat in Rescue Rangers, and he's got to die. All right? It's the important thing to keep in mind.
Death to all cats.
Just keep that in mind. The one that actually comes to mind right away, which is, I guess, not really a protagonist, but it is what the game is about, is this kind of like Xbox Live Arcade game that's actually called Techno Kitty. It's really, really fun once you actually play it because pretty much it's this cat, right? And it's one of those where you have to guide it through this path and make sure
Yes,
you don't hit any of the
I've
obstacles.
seen play of that game. Oh god, it's so
Yeah.
like with the techno and like the constant changing backgrounds and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my
Just
gosh,
so epic.
that looks like if you were drunk or on drugs, that game would scare the shit out of anybody.
It
That's
should.
just
It would
so
totally
crazy.
trip you out.
All right.
And I really, really want to play this game, like either drunk or on drugs, just for this
I
game.
played this really cool like computer game. It's free on Miniclip. It's called Fat Cat. You're an owl that carries a fat cat through a great labyrinth in the sky, and you have to shoot off enemies. And
It's like that
It's really-
like old school like helicopter flash game kind of, where like you hold down the
Kind-
space bar to like gain altitude and like go to drop altitude.
it's actually like auto
Incoming
scrolling, but
enemy
it's
from the rear. Drop
it's like auto
altitude.
scrolling, but you're moving forward, so it's auto scrolling forward, and it has a really catchy soundtrack. There's like music every other stage. It's just the same two songs, but my favorite song is the first one. It's like.
Trying to sing with
Skype, the musical.
it. Skype, the music.
Hey, we were gonna make an LPR musical.
What Mega Man do you want to play? Get there faster. Mega Blaster, you are Mega Man. Here's the master plan. Everyone dies.
I
Everyone.
expected Uto to join in on that, not you, Alta.
Yeah,
Uto's
God,
the
I'll
first
make
Mega
sure.
Man game. after all.
I don't know.
What Mega Man do you want to play, Alta? You're not playing Mega Man right now. Shut up.
But
You want to know what Mega Man I want to play? Mega Man 1. But it's all the way over there.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I'm all the way over here.
Yeah. So Antlion, what's your favorite Mega Man game?
I haven't played
Oh.
Mega Man. So
Oh my god, it's not my Mega Man.
Understandable.
Fair enough.
Well, this podcast is ruined. Throw it out. Stop it.
Just
I'll
thought
just
that's
edit that
so
out. Don't worry.
Hey guys, welcome to Friday Night Skype.
new.
You could have at least guessed a number anywhere between 1 and 78, and you would probably I like you're the guy that keeps on buying those Battle Network. Yeah.
And there's like 12, aren't they? Right? Are there 12 BattleNet games?
I don't know. You know too
Dude,
much, Dillian.
Well, there's like 5, but they all have two
I
versions.
was walking home from middle school one day, and I asked my friend Dom, who's a Mega Man player. I said, "How many Mega Mans are there?" He goes, 10. And then he sat there for a moment and he goes, No, 35. And then he went, no, wait, 42. And the number just kept going up.
He's only behind Mario in the amount of video games that he's been in. he's second in all-time video games he's appeared in.
Yay.
My brother was playing a Mega Man game the other day, and I'm just looking at it. I'm like, the fuck is this? He's like, Mega Man? I'm like, that doesn't look like no Mega Man I know. I just walk away.
Mega Man
Yeah.
Battle Network? I remember as a kid that being an alright game.
Well, that's because you're a small child, Alta.
I think that if you actually, because when they take that into account of who's in the most video games, is they treat Mega Man and Mega Man X as two different characters.
Oh, really? No, I think they treat them as like Mega Man X, Mega Man Legends, Mega Man Battle Network, Mega Man.
There's Mega Man Zero. There's Mega Man Zero
Mega
too,
Bucket.
which
Yeah,
isn't even Mega
there's not
Man.
enough Mega here to
Yeah,
go
what
around.
about there's
The
all
Johnny
the
Cage
there's all the
version of
zeros
Mega
too.
Man.
What,
That's why I really
a Mega
hope.
Man. What Johnny Cage you want to play?
But that's why I really hope in the next Super Smash, Bros, whatever they call it, that they actually have Mega Man as a playable character. That'd be super
Yeah, well,
badass.
but it's a Capcom character though. That's why.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, I'm sure Nintendo would.
Yeah,
shell
but
out
what
the money to,
about-
like,
what
let
about
us
Metal
use
Gear,
Mega
dude?
Man as a
Solid
Mega Man.
Snake.
I don't think
They
so.
wouldn't shell out the money to get
Solid
Geno
Snake
on there.
was in
You
Brawl
think-
though, and he's not anywhere fucking near Nintendo, so you can just put that in your coffee.
Yeah, but
he-
that was
the-
done as a personal favor, because, yeah.
And not to mention the original
who
Metal
were we
Gear
talking-
was actually on Nintendo.
Wait, who were we talking? Oh, we were talking
Yeah.
about Snake from Metal
Yeah.
Gear 4? Oh, okay.
It's funny because they got Snake in as like, okay, you know what, buddy, here you go. Then Sega's like, can you please put Sonic in?
Oh, goodness. Maybe.
Sonic
That's what
needs
they
to do
did.
something.
It'll be interesting to see who they have in like the next generation of Smash Brothers. Who
Like,
thinks like that.
I'd say
Speaking
it'd be
of-
really, really cool if they had Mega Man. But go ahead, sorry.
Speaking of Brawl, never been beaten. Hosting a Brawl tournament soon, actually. From anyone who isn't on my channel looking.
Thanks
I
for
got
that
all the-
shameless.
This,
Damn it,
this
that-
guy over here, man. You got nowhere to go but
Hey,
down,
hey,
Alta,
Alta,
and I'm gonna take you
I'm
down.
gonna edit
and
that
make
out, by
best.
the way.
Yeah?
That's all you gotta say about that.
I got every single trophy on Brawl, and probably the hardest one was boss battles on Intense for me. It's
Boom.
just-
Yeah, Alta, you can't handle this. You can't handle
Beaten
this.
Yeah,
boss
yeah,
battles on
Josh.
Intense with every character before.
Yeah, well, you're stupid.
You're blue. Now, okay? You're gonna sit on that now.
I'm just saying, I'm not some guy who thinks he's really good. I'm a guy who's been
No.
playing-
I think you made it perfectly clear that you're a guy that thinks he's really good. That's not
Alta, I hope Generation just absolutely wrecks you in your Brawl tournament.
I hope, you know what, Generation? How many tournaments have you won?
I've been
Doesn't
matter how
matter
many tournaments you've won.
bad at playing in Colorado. That's how many tournaments I've been in, okay?
I got banned for playing as Pit ever. Like,
Pit?
no
Oh.
matter what I...
I literally can't do it. I have a police decree that says I cannot play as Pit.
It's against the law.
Brawl.
Oh,
Meta Knight's
Did you,
banned.
Won
uh,
15 in
you guys-
total.
Yeah, Meta Knight is understandably banned though, because he is honestly like the first time I played with him, I'm like, dude, this guy is way too overpowered. Like,
I couldn't figure out how to like dominate with them though.
really well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I have a necessary strategy, but like when I was just playing around with characters, I'm like, oh my god, like because I played none of Melee. I'm a huge fan of the N64 version, despite what Alta might say, being the ass clown that he is. But
Yeah,
I
like
was.
N64.
Well, I thought that Meta Knight was like a guy that anyone could jump onto. He was really good for just like beginner players, at least. Someone that's never played the game, like, hey, I recommend Meta Knight because at least you'll have an enjoyable time playing with maybe veteran players.
It
Yeah.
really bothered me how easy he is to use, just because Meta Knight's my favorite character, and as soon as I heard he was going to be in a Brawl game, I was like, okay, that's the character I'm going to play all the time. And it's like, oh, Meta Knight is too strong. You can't play him. I'm just like,
and
what?
that was the thing too, where I think he was ranked as a C list, which wasn't that good. But
Really?
then when people started using him, they were like, "Oh my god, this guy's amazing!" And that's what really annoys me. Like when I actually used to play online, where almost everybody would choose Meta Knight, and they would just spam that stupid circle attack. I forget if it's like
Oh,
up A or
tornado
something
where
like
you
that.
press B.
Yeah, tornado. Yeah,
Oh,
and
dude,
it's just
Tornado,
like,
man. Tornado dominates for sure.
Oh,
and
it's
it's
not
just like,
even
okay,
that.
if you're gonna play as Meta Knight, okay, that's fine, but at least don't spam just one freaking attack. Come on.
that I mean, but
Well,
if you think about it,
It'd be,
in
it'd be
any
nice.
fighting game,
It'd be
there are
nice
gonna
if
be
they could, like-
spammers. There are gonna be people who spam.
Okay, time out.
That's-
What
that's
is that?
the
What did it
priority.
say?
I like the color blue.
Garrett?
I thought it'd be nice if they could like somehow program it to like on like tournaments with other like consoles, if they could like make it so some of your buttons wouldn't work after, like you could use it once in a while, but like if you used it once, then you'd have to wait a while if you're using Meta Knight, so like you could actually, so it wouldn't be like disqualified. I don't know.
Well, when
So
I
that-
feel like when I play, I've been in a few 64 tournaments with Kirby. Kirby's my guy, man. And, part of the strategy of any sort of like a fighting situation is just sitting back and watching the other guys fight it out. And just staying back and watching that fight happen.
Look at these schmucks.
Not only do you not take damage, but you don't usually get to know how the other people fight. And that's...
Okay, but that's a lot different than just spamming the same attack over. That is true strategy.
Valid.
Spamming the same thing over and over again is a bitch move. I don't care who you are, and like people who spam, it either takes a really talented player to beat the shit out of a spammer or another spammer to cancel it out.
There's no way to beat a spammer.
Are you guys talking about spamming in the sense of one-on-one matches or
in general? Just a person who is sitting there and just mashing the B button. You know.
Just have any ranged character. You can totally...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Pikachu... The thing about Pikachu is once he uses down B attack, there's a half-second pause where he can't move. That's when you go in and strike.
Yeah, go in and strike.
I actually know how to counter that.
Yeah,
So
it's
do
all
I.
about the the timing of everything, because there's always an attack that leaves you vulnerable for a certain amount of time, and that's when you actually go in for your attack as well.
I play a lot of fighting games, hence why my name is the Johnny Cage, and I've always said it's all about the TNA. I'm not talking about tits and ass. I'm talking about the timing and anticipation of a person. You know, like if you're playing a game, like, oh, what are they going to do there? What would I do in that situation? Oh, yeah, I'm going to jump at you. Okay, if I'm playing Street Fighter, I'm Ryu, I'm going to short you, and that's going to be it. You know, the same thing applies to all fighting games. Once you get really good at one fighting game, you can almost, like, cross the board with fighting games.
When it came to fighting games, honestly, I always used instinct and intuition, you know? I just used what I had, and at the moment, you know, so I always had, like, if I ever got into, like, a certain way of fighting somebody, I would always break it up. I would always try and change up what I was doing just to make sure I wasn't spamming something and to make sure my strategy wasn't predictable.
Yeah, but that's the only also a difference because of what Alto's doing right now, where when you're playing online, there's a lag. There's always going to be a lag. There's no buffer in that, and that's the only difference between playing online and playing on the same system. Playing on the same system is a lot easier than playing online because not only do you have to anticipate, you have to anticipate 5 seconds sooner than you would usually have to anticipate. And then I also agree with Dilly on the fact that, you know, you definitely got to change up your strategy because if you just go out doing the same thing, eventually they're going to learn, be like, oh, this is what you're doing. This is what I need to do to actually make them stop doing that. So it's a lot of give and take with all that.
I don't know, man. I've had strategies that have lasted forever, you know. Seriously, there are some
I feel like if you have strategies, they're going to be sniffed out by the better players, and they're going to be taken down. The good players...
None of yours as good as...
Okay, Alta. Thanks,
I have an
Alta.
80-hit combo strategy.
I hear two Altas talking. My brain's fucking tripping out, man.
Yeah, as well he should be. Alta's got nowhere to go but down once he meets like me.
Well, I'll just tell you this, Johnny. I have an 80-hit combo with Pikachu, and then I can use it at any point in time because I know how to use it. I've polished it.
Wait.
Does your 80-hit combo consist of hitting once and then coming back in a month and hitting again?
I have uploaded regularly.
I'm just saying, it doesn't matter what kind of hit combo you got.
You know what? That's right. At MagFest, Johnny, we're gonna film it. We're gonna film some MagFest.
Damn well we should.
Seriously, yeah. Every single batch we have at MagFest, we're gonna film and we're gonna put it on YouTube so that everybody knows that, you know, everybody was a bitch besides me.
Yeah, and
so
every time somebody is on the toilet taking a dump, I'm gonna be there to film it.
Someone is...
Who can bench press Dilly the most?
You know what bothers me?
What's that?
When my own videos are in the suggested videos when you go to the homepage. It's like, check out this guy. Oh, it's you.
I don't know. It's a little better than the you post a comment going, "Do you know you have your own YouTube channel?"
Yeah, I recently saw that and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, everyone's gotten that in the past couple weeks or so.
That really bothered me. I posted a comment today, and it's like, "Did you know you have a YouTube channel?" I'm like, "You don't say. I only have 400 videos, and I post comments, and I know how to YouTube."
YouTube once. Thank you. Appreciate that. No, it was funny. Like, I don't know how many people actually follow Chugo Conroy, but I actually have him on Twitter. And it was like one day, he, oh, go ahead, Gunnar, sorry.
It's all the does. That was it.
Oh, okay. And then after it was, his first tweet was he was talking about how some lady at a store was saying that he should really do commentary for a living or whatever. And then there was another tweet saying how, YouTube finally told him he had a YouTube channel. So I was saying, it's like, what you should do? You should totally, do commentary because apparently YouTube, I don't even know. Never mind. I'm going to shut up now.
No, it was interesting.
Wow,
No, you know what? No, I got the gist. I got the
That's
gist.
fine.
Generation basically took those two ideas and he put them into one, and then expressed that to Chucka Conroy. But what came out of Generations off was
Thank you, Dilly.
General motorboating sound.
That's why I keep Dilly around, He voices my opinion for me.
I don't
Someone
want to
has
get
to
like
speak generation.
I don't want to get like hate or anything, so
Oh, you'll get hate.
I guess I just won't
Wait,
say
get hate
anything
for what?
about my opinions on Chugga Conroy.
Oh,
you
go
should,
ahead.
You should. Yeah,
Hey,
that's-
Nobody
look,
watches this
Antlion,
anyways, go
I
ahead.
don't want Chucka Conroy, so any opinion you have, let me tell you right now, I'm gonna respect it and I'm gonna back you up 100%.
Yeah,
All
like-
right.
Yeah, everybody has.
That
their-
opens the door for a lot of people. Throwing it out.
Let's open that evil door. It's like figuring out that puzzle to the Hellraiser puzzle.
I
Ooh,
mean, I've just watched
Really?
like a few of his videos and I saw like some of his like more popular segments, like the ones where he like apparently are the most funny things he said and most funny reactions, and I've just seen like way better from like other Let's Players, and they do like the same equivalent on a regular basis. I couldn't get into him.
well,
Yeah.
that's
And
yeah.
you know what I hate more? This just goes for anyone. It's like too long or too like heavy metal of an introduction. Like some people like have like just open up like, this is my YouTube channel. It's like 30 seconds long, and then I also hate like fake thumbnails that like. I mean, it's okay if like you're a partner and you like choose your own thumbnail, but I like it when it's like natural, like I know Chugga Conroy doesn't fake his thumbnails, but other Let's Players do, and it's even I don't get is like at the end of videos when he says like there's like this 10-second thing that's like click here for next video or previous video or to click on the playlist. I'm like, wouldn't you just go to your channel for that? I mean, or in the
I'm
related
too
videos.
lazy to do that, man. I am way too lazy to do that.
There's a
Yeah.
level of laziness there. Totally.
Like whatchamacallit, I agreed with almost every part of that besides like the last one, mainly because like I do like the convenience, like if you're watching a video and then you don't want to go to whatchamacallit his channel and find the playlist, like considering that it might not be his most current LP, it might be an LP he did like 2 years ago, so that way I don't have to look through all his videos. I could just be like, oh, I'm right here, I could go to the next episode right away.
Yeah, well, but I mean, if you're interested enough, I think that, because for me, I've always just put it in a playlist. I don't want to go through the whole kit and caboodle of having to put it through, like, annotations, but like, oh, here's the next video, here's the previous video kind of thing. Like, that's just, like, that's too much work for what it's worth as far as I'm concerned. Like, if you're really interested, boom, it's all there in a playlist. You can watch it all right now. All you got to do is click my channel, which is right there, and then playlists, and go to the videos that you want. It's, like,
Yeah.
three
Because
clicks
then
away.
if you're, what I like to do, and I guess this is more of a problem for me and not other people's because I have a desktop, not a laptop, so like, and like the closest thing that I can like lay down on is the bed behind me, but I can't like reach the mouse. So if I want to like go to the next video, if there's like an advertisement, I have to like physically get up and click to the next video. And
Hooray for America.
Yeah.
First world problems.
The thing about
Yeah.
thumbnails though is like the ones that are like natural from the video, like they drop in quality so much for whatever reason. I don't understand why. So I actually like the custom thumbnails that are just like just some random splash screen, just because there's actual quality there.
Agreed.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty happy
Like
with
if
some
you
of the
go to
ones
my
I've done.
channel, look at any Fallout video and just look at the thumbnail. It looks absolutely horrible.
Yeah, no, you're totally right about that. Like, not being a partner, you only have 3 choices in the thumbnail, and that's a real shame, because it's like, okay, what should I choose? Black screen,
Inventory
crap.
screen.
More
you know,
black screen.
hey, what do I have here to choose from? No, you guys like black screens? This is what you get.
I don't know, I guess it just bothers me when people try to make their Let's Plays like a TV show series and try to make it really professional when it should just be for like entertainment.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be, but people know TV shows, and people want to get partnered. People want to be able to excel at what they're doing, and they want to be able to make money off of what they're doing. I mean, people can say whatever the hell they want, but ultimately, like, who wouldn't want to make money off of playing video games? And that's what people are shooting for, because we live in a very unique day and age where you can.
Money's great, but I just want my damn Bulbasaur banner.
Well, you'd be making money if you had it, so there you go.
I just want time uploads. But I guess that's a perfect example where it's, you know, just goes to show you where it should be done for fun, but a lot of people are doing it for money, and you know.
Well, I mean, but how can you say that you're not doing it for money? Seriously, though. Like I have no problem saying that I would love, like, it's on my bucket list to be able to make money from playing video games someday. I have no problem saying that to anybody at all. And why shouldn't I? I mean, that was a little bit of the part of the reason, but then another part is obviously that I play video games at least some portion of the day, so I might as well be recording it so that I can let everyone see what I'm doing and have fun with it. And I've been told that I'm really decent at doing commentary, as well as all of you guys are. So why not give it that opportunity?
Yeah, and I can.
Big enough. No, you go.
No, I was just going to say real quick, like, I could understand that, but to be completely honest, if I could get partnered just for the sole fact that I could get my timed uploads, and hell, even the banner, they can keep the thumbnails and they can keep the money. Because to be honest, I started this just for fun.
Whoa.
You know, it's all good. You know, no big deal.
I would not have the thumbnails. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I said, like, throw in the thumbnails. I wouldn't really care about that. But go ahead, Alta. Sorry.
You know what? I don't care about if I get paid for it or anything. I just want a big enough fan base to where I get people laughing, video responses, and someone making a remix of some random thing I do.
Yeah.
That's a lot of popularity right there.
Yeah, Best of Alta Guide video number 2.
Best of Alta Guide on DVD for $29.99.
With behind-the-scenes features on him.
See Tech being a douchebag all the time.
Here's his brother busting in on him when he's taking a shit. Great video.
I think that a lot of people who get partnered, they start doing it like, you know, we all did. It's like, oh, I'm going to play video games, and I'm going to record it, and I'm going to say funny stuff, and I'm going to put it up there, and then, like, people are going to love it. And then they get to the point where they're making money off of it. And then they get where they're really not interested in doing it anymore, but they're making money off it. And then they're like, well, I can't give this up because I'm making money. You know, no one's going to walk away from that.
Yeah.
And it just comes to the point where the only reason why you're doing it is because you're making money, and then it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, you gotta feel a sigh of relief when you're like, oh man, all this hard work has finally come to a conclusion as to where I am making money off of making these videos.
I had the same problem when I was a male prostitute. I didn't really want to give it up.
Agreed.
It was
you
too
are
good
in the
of
South
money.
after all, Dilly. You got, and let me tell you, you have fantastic hair. Fantastic hair.
Like, I'm jealous. That's how much you have hair.
You look like an amazing woman, honestly.
So I've been told that many times, and I'm just proud of that fact. I can't deny it.
Okay, I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we have to wrap it up here, guys.
Uto?
All right, closing thoughts, anyone?
Red is always blue.
I cannot wait to play your hack, Antlion. I think it's awesome that you are making your own hack, and I hope you get it done soon.
Thank you. Can't wait to finish it.
I look forward to doing it too. I'm going to do a Let's Play of it if that's all right with you.
That's perfectly fine. I'd be more than happy to watch that.
All right, one more final thought.
And then...
Okay.
Those who can't teach, preach. But those who teach also teach.
I thought it was those who can't teach Jim.
I was doing a
Ultra
Jacques.
fails. Nobody likes you.
Don't matter what you say.
I guess I'll say always believe there will be a tomorrow, even if yesterday hasn't yet happened.
Whoa,
that's deep right there, man.
Pretty deep
Is
for
it?
us.
Or is it just words?
Or is it just words? Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, I got one to kind of, maybe not one up it, but maybe to match it, be like, hey, we are most accepted of change on our most vulnerable points.
I have one. Would you rather be rich,
Thanks a lot,
famous,
Avatar.
handsome?
Okay, I have to pee,
Personal
and there's
friend.
too many people in this goddamn house, so I'm ending this right now.
All right.
Bye.
Always tip your waitress.
Hey,
Bing bang goodbye.
All right, that was Friday Night Skype. See you all next week. Goodbye.